Our work is very intimate with our clients. We are working in the kitchen and we're in the underwear drawer in the entire house. So we really are stirring up and turning over a lot of memories and also raising a lot of questions that our clients don't even predict they're going to have.
Hello, this is Matt Helton with OneTrust Home Loans, your reverse mortgage experts, and you found the Serving Seniors podcast, where we highlight great businesses and individuals that help seniors thrive in retirement. And today we have another one of those great businesses and great people. We have Mr. Justin Hammond, and he's the owner of Let's Get Moving. And he's going to share how he works with seniors, how he helps them through that move process, and how he helps them have a better outcome in their retirement. Justin, how are you doing today?
Hey, Matt, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks so much, first of all, for having me on. I really appreciate you inviting me to do this. And I know we've met before, but it's good to have a chance to sit down and chat for a little while.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for all you do. And thank you for being here. How's life treating you today?
It's pretty good. As you can tell, I'm in the car and it's another one of those busy days. So just trying to carve out a little time to hopefully help you out with your podcast. And
sure.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for working us in. And I know people, they like to say that people work with people that they know, like, and trust, right? And unfortunately, a lot of times in this crazy world, people don't get to really know the person behind the business. So I'd love for you to maybe take us back to just some background, tell us your story, where you're from and who you are, what are some of your jobs, and then how did you stumble into Let's Get Moving, and how do you work with seniors?
It's a lot of questions. Hopefully I can capture them all. First of all, it's pretty rare, but I'm a native Nashvilleian.
Nice. I found you finally. Here. I've been looking for you.
Yes.
You're the one.
Here I am. I'm right here. And there's only a few of us left, I think. Sure. So we try to stick together. So I've been, I've witnessed a lot of change in Nashville. I will say that for our business, it's pretty good. And on the personal side, for those of us that have grown up here, it's a lot of change to wrap our brains around. So,
sure. Did you go to town for school, or did you stay here?
I was West Tennessee, so Freed-Hardeman University, if you're familiar with them.
Yeah.
And so went to Freed-Hardeman, came back, and my wife and I and our two kids live here. And we really enjoy being in Middle Tennessee.
That's fantastic. Awesome. What part of town do you live in?
We are in Brentwood, just off of the Concord Road exit.
Okay. Good spot. You can get to a lot of places from there.
It's very convenient, very central. We moved from Columbia, so we were a little bit of a drive.
Okay.
But got closer for business.
Makes sense. And when you, after school, what were some of your first jobs?
Well, so that's kind of where my story begins.
Oh, good.
And I really was focused on senior care from the very beginning. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in social work, both with a focus in gerontology. And I really enjoy working with older people. And the senior population is really where I'm supposed to be. My first job was in a home care company, and I did work in different capacities in home care for about 8.5 years. And that was really what brought me to Let's Get Moving back in 2022. And the company was for sale. The previous owner was looking to make a retirement move, and I was in the market for buying a company, and it all worked out.
Wow, that's great. Did you, so were you like a client of theirs, or you had connections with them through the senior world, or how that all?
The connections to the senior world really kind of brought everything together. It was kind of just a networking meeting, and we got together to exchange cards and learn more about each other's businesses. And it turned into more of, how about buying my business instead?
That's so cool. That's awesome. How does that experience of being in in-home care, and how does that all tie together with Let's Get Moving? How does that help you perform for seniors?
So I really feel like it's a great foundation of being in senior care for 8.5 years. Before doing this work here with Let's Get Moving, we can chat a little bit more in detail about how we're not just a moving company.
Okay.
But that foundation really gives me the understanding and has helped create a foundation for what seniors are going through. Sometimes their challenges are unique, as you know, and just helping to customize the solutions for them in a way that's going to make sense in this chapter of life, of retirement and post-retirement.
Wow. That's excellent. And then now, as far as like seniors, tell me a little bit about the moves. Is it mostly moving into facilities? Are they moving to downsizing? They moving locally across the country? Give us some background where most of them work out.
So our seniors today in today's world are really transient folks, and a lot of times are moving to where adult children are, being closer to a family caregiver that may need to step in if a healthcare crisis arises. And because Nashville is such a growing city and really renowned in the world for its growth, right now we are seeing a lot of adult children move here for their careers and bringing their parents once they get settled in their careers. So our seniors are really coming from all across the country and following adult children who will be their primary caregiver when the healthcare needs arise.
Okay.
We certainly do a lot of local moving back and forth from Nashville to Nashville and one community to another. But I would say the interstate moves are growing in number just based on Nashville's growth.
Okay. Excellent. So if kids are in California, they move here, then 2 years later, the family's coming, you can help facilitate that, work through the process to get them here.
Yes. So what's interesting, and this is going to come as a little bit of a shock, Matt, is we're not a moving company. And I try to say that to as many people as I can. We are affiliated with NASM, which is an acronym that stands for the National Association of Senior and Specialty Move Managers.
Nice.
There are less than 1,500 companies in the country that affiliate with NASM, and we are held to a high standard of ethics and the way that we run our businesses to make sure that we're serving seniors in the correct way and their unique challenges and twists and turns of downsizing, maybe after 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years. It's a very unique business. And so we are able to partner up with those NASM partners across the country for these interstate moves. And they understand how to communicate with us and what we're trying to accomplish with the interstate move. So it's really helpful to have that network of other companies that understand what the unique challenges are of the senior's journey before they make the move.
That's great. Yeah. Could you maybe give a little more background? So you're not a moving company, but you help the seniors in that process. Maybe share like a specific example of a recent client of where you guys step in and how you help make their life a little bit better in their process.
Sure. So an example that comes up right away is of a senior couple. And unfortunately, sometimes, this feels like a topic for a whole nother day, where seniors sometimes may wait a little bit too long to make the decision that it's time to move to an independent living community or an assisted living community. And it becomes really challenging to adjust both physically and mentally to a new environment. And making a move and a downsize after 20 plus years, even more, is emotionally tolling. And a lot of our clients enter into what we call decision fatigue, of making way too many decisions all at once on what items am I going to keep and what items do I have to part with based on the size difference of my new home. So the couple that we just recently moved into a brand new community in Nashville, had waited just a little bit too long, and the gentleman had been diagnosed for several years with Parkinson's. So physically, he was unable to participate in any of the tasks that were needed in preparation for moving. And the load really fell on the wife, who in this circumstance was already frail and was beginning to experience some symptoms of forgetfulness and possibly dementia. But there was no diagnosis there, but she was the primary decision maker. So it provides a lot of opportunity for confusion of what's supposed to be moving. Fortunately, we did have a adult daughter who swooped in and was participating quite heavily to make sure things were going okay. But I would say that was quite a challenging move just because of the physicality and the mental toll it takes to make decisions day in and day out prior to your move day. Okay,
got it. And then so where you would step in is you would hire the moving company, hire the people, organize it. In my mind, I'm thinking like almost a general. If you're building a house, you would be the general contractor that would find all the subs. Is that anywhere
You
close?
got it. That's a great comparison. And we call ourselves project managers over relocation.
Okay.
And it truly, not to cause any confusion, we're going to move you and we'll get movers involved to get from A to B. But we're not just your run of the mill everyday moving company. Sure. We're starting from the very beginning. One of our steps in the process, the very first step, is actually carved out as the idea of relocation. Mm-hmm. And it's simply a step of planning and discussion. What is this going to look like once it's finished, so that we're creating proper goals for every family? And then from there, we do floor planning and space planning, knowing where the furniture is going to live in the new space, sorting and downsizing. That's really conversational and organized color coding of what items are going to be going. Then we move directly into professional packing, managing our preferred mover company on move day, unpacking and setting up, hanging artwork on the walls, coordinating other third parties for build outs or closet customizations, things that may be needed for organizing, and all the way down to making sure that the house shoes are under the bed and the rope is on the doorknob, whatever is needed to make it feel like home.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it sounds like I'm just thinking through, if I've been in our home for 10 years, if we ever moved, I was just thinking through the nightmare of what it would be like to move. So I'm assuming that not just seniors need that, but we could all use that service. Is that correct as well?
You are correct. So this April, we celebrated 20 years in business. And as a part of that celebration, we have opened a new line of service. Many of our seniors' sons and daughters, our adult children of our clients, were demanding that we provide them the same service. And so we are working with a lot of 30s, 40s, and 50-year-old clients who maybe have children at home or both have busy professional careers, and they need that white glove experience in their move. They're way too busy to do it on their own. And so we did open that line of white glove service for our younger clients to take advantage of.
That's awesome. Yeah. That is awesome. Is that had some good success, still more seniors than regular clients? What's been the breakdown?
We definitely still enjoy probably about 90 to 95% of our clients being seniors. And that is our happy place. We really thrive on our senior community. And everyone's so supportive of us and the history that we have in Nashville of being around for 20 years doing this. So that certainly is the broad base of our clients. But more and more of our clients' children are requesting service. And just got an email yesterday from one of our past clients, and it's the son. And he and his wife are moving out of state. They are probably both in their mid-50s, which is not really senior in our world. We're really looking more at 60s, 70s, and 80s for seniors. So this is pretty young, but they remember what service we provided mom and dad, and they want the same service. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that's let alone a great client, but also a great testimonial, because they wouldn't have remembered you if you didn't do an amazing job. So that's
great. We'd like to think so.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, Justin, maybe could you share a little bit about, maybe what qualities you have, I like to call them your superpowers, you could say, that allow you to give this white glove service and to make these seniors feel so comfortable with what you do?
I think my best answer for that question is my superpower is honestly my team. And I'm not a one-man show in all of this. And I'm able to have the face and represent a great team. We've got about 15 folks that work at Let's Get Moving.
Nice.
And they are all very mission driven. And the first question I ask anyone who is brand new to our team that's going to work with us, the very first question is, tell me why you're interested in working with seniors. And there's always a really good answer, which is the right answer in an interview. But there's always a story and a family member, some sort of connection to that world and why people want to give back. So
that's fantastic.
Yep.
I may have to add that you may need to change that. You're not the face of Let's Get Moving. You're the beard of Let's Get Moving. How about that?
It's a new addition. It's an expansion.
Hey man, I am totally jealous. I would, if I grew mine, it would be white instead of red, and it would not look near as cool as yours does. So I'm very jealous. It's awesome.
Well, some people have the advantage of growing hair on top of their head. I've lost that
There you go.
advantage.
Okay,
So
there you go.
we get one or the other.
There you go. That's your hair flex, I guess you could.
That's right.
Well, it looks great, man. That's fantastic. And I've just from being in the senior world for years now, just heard so many people just brag about you, and it's never like, it's never like they're the best company, they're this. It's just like, man, Justin really cares about people. He takes care of them, and his team does a great job. Just like you said. So keep up the great work. But
thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
Just have a great reputation. Well, man,
thank you.
Any, I guess when people call you too, because they're, because you're so inquisitive and you ask a lot of the questions, it sounds like, and like, what do you want to accomplish? What's your goal? It sounds like you probably learn a little bit more about some of your clients than the average everyday moving company. So what are some other resources you may recommend to seniors out there? Maybe they're not moving today, or maybe they are moving, but what are some of the other things that you send their way to help make their life better?
Yeah, that's a great question. And, our work is very intimate with our clients. We are working in the kitchen and we're in the underwear drawer in the entire house. So we really are stirring up and turning over a lot of memories and also raising a lot of questions that our clients don't even predict they're going to have. A lot of times for anybody, especially in today's economic environment, we get a lot of questions about money and how much is this going to cost. And we are not a comparison to a couple guys in a box truck. Our approach is a lot more detailed and hand-holding. So many of our clients are seniors simply because they have accumulated a lot more and benefit from us assisting, keeping that flow going. So they know they're going to pay a little bit more for our service. And a lot of times we do request that if they have alternatives for financial assistance, that they go ahead and tap into those. Many of our seniors are on what they call a fixed income, and a lot of their assets are tied up in investments. So for short-term cash, there's not a lot available. They are keeping that money in investments as long as they possibly can. So we really do try to target and look for a lot of resources to help them accomplish the short-term expenses in making a big, large-scale move that they're going to be making.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yep, that completely makes sense. And it's in today's world, there's tons of 100,000 $500,000 millionaires. Unfortunately, a huge percentage of that's tied up in their home. That's
yes.
And I like to make the joke with people whenever they say that they've got all this equity. I said, well, tell me have you ever gone to the grocery store and said, charge it to my equity? Or have you ever got a bill in the mail for your property taxes and say, charge my equity for my property taxes? Right? It just doesn't work that way. So that's what we love to help with, is we just show seniors, that's our space where we can help them unlock some of that equity and use it for things like this, use it for paying bills, paying for expenses. So it works out really well to partner with folks like you. A couple ways that we step in is, so if there are some companies that if seniors are moving to a facility, so meaning they just need a quick bridge loan to get access to some money, where they may need it for the move, they may need it for their deposit, but they can't sell their home today because you have to get out of their house and clean it up. So there are some companies that they do those short-term bridge loans and things that we can send people to. And then where we step in is if you have a senior that's going to be selling a home, buying another house. And unfortunately, the challenge is we see this quite a bit, where a senior will sell their home. They'll be making like $500,000. They sell at 11 a.m. and then they sign the papers to buy their home at 11:30, right? So for 30 minutes, they've got $500,000 on paper, and then they buy a $500,000 home. So they go from having $500,000, they pay cash for it, which is fantastic. They don't have a mortgage payment, but then they forget that they need cash, and it's all in their house. So we do that a lot, where we'll use our senior lending options to help a senior buy a home, where if they're making 500, maybe they only put down 300 and they end up with 200,000 left over in their bank account. So we can partner with people like you to get them moved, and then we can partner with companies to get that short-term money. And then what we do is help them keep money in their bank account long-term.
I think it's really great. And, a lot of our clients are doing a house-to-house move. I would say of our seniors who are downsizing, that's at least 25% of our clients who are not ready to move to a senior living community. And they're just ready to move out of the family home that they grew their families in. And if it's 4,000 or 5,000 square feet, or, we've worked in 10, 12,000 square feet before, but they're ready to work in less. So we are doing a big home-to-home downsize, and that would be really helpful.
Yep. No, completely makes sense. And then that's where if they do have assets, then they're able to leave those assets in the market and continue to let those grow. So they pass their kids on the big portfolio. They'll just pass on a little less equity because they use some equity. But, the house is going to grow, Justin, going to go up or down, whether you owe all of it or none of it, right? That doesn't affect your investment performance. But if you've got 1,000 shares of a stock, or you've only got 500 shares of a stock because you had to sell 500 to help pay off your house, right? You're going to get less growth because you have less shares in the market, for example. And so that's what we allow folks to do. They can just use some of their equity and keep their investments in the marketplace.
That's awesome. Yeah, our clients are very smart, and they're hyper-focused on keeping their money busy and don't want to be too cash rich. Most of our clients are asset rich and cash poor.
Yeah,
they're keeping their money at work.
Completely makes sense. Well, Justin, as we wrap up here, maybe share, folks, what areas you serve, how people would get in touch with you, and how would they follow you as well.
Our most successful service territory is right here in Middle Tennessee. We do Greater Nashville the best. But if anybody is moving from anywhere to Nashville, or from Nashville to anywhere, we are happy to help service them, or even just be a point of reference if Nashville is not even a city that's involved. We're pretty connected in the senior move management world, and are happy to just be a solution in finding the next move management partner that does a great job. So everybody can find us pretty easily on our website. It's letsgetmoving.net. We are on the .net, so letsgetmoving.net.
Okay.
And we're also out there on Facebook, and you can find me at Justin Hammond on LinkedIn.
Perfect. Well, Justin, anything I should have asked you that I didn't ask you'd like to share?
You had some great questions. So I think we covered just about all there was to cover. I will just add that as a comprehensive service, we also help people with what I call the what's left over.
Okay.
And many people do worry about their many collections that they've accumulated over the years and how those are going to be protected. And that really goes into estate dispersal, which we have a whole nother side of our company that we assist with, of appraisals and fine art sales, estate sales, full home clear out, deep cleaning. And that is a huge burden that families often don't want to bear. And so we do assist families with that.
Wow. Awesome. That's great. So from top to bottom, full service senior care, it sounds like.
We're trying.
Well, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Well, please keep up the good work. And like I mentioned, feel free to invite people on the podcast, and feel free to work together on that, because I can tell that this isn't just a job. This isn't a business. This is a mission for you. And that's why you ask those questions to your clients. So keep up the great work with the mission. Let's go serve a bunch of seniors together. How about that?
Sounds great. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah. Thank you. And thank you for watching the Serving Seniors podcast, where I highlight these awesome people like Mr. Justin that help seniors not just get by or just survive, but thrive in retirement. Thanks again. Talk to you soon. Hey, this is Matt Helton with OneTrust Home Loans, home of retirement mortgage solutions. And we really do appreciate you checking out the Serving Seniors podcast today. Now, please go to the description down in the body of the podcast where you can subscribe to get future shows. Please click that notification button so you get notified when other shows drop. And also, if you can go to servingseniourspodcast.com, and we'd love to hear a comment about our show. We have a heart to serve seniors, and we have a heart to make sure seniors don't just survive retirement, don't just get by in retirement. We want to show seniors how to thrive in retirement. So if you know of anyone that's 55 and older that could use some extra cash flow. Maybe the retirement's not going the way that they like. Our retirement mortgage solutions are designed for folks, depending on the state, they're either 55 or 62 and older, to make sure that they have that kind of retirement that they want. As long as they own a home and they're in a good equity position, there could be some solutions that they may not have thought about, or maybe they've thought of and they just didn't know how they work. That's what we do. So anyone in that age group that could use some mortgage advice, my team and I would love to be able to help them. Thanks again, and look forward to seeing you on the next show. Have a great day.